Hi, I'm Rajiv, and today I am going to talk to you about cleaning up your mind. It's very easy to look out there and to blame why it is life is difficult, but truly, the only thing that you can really change in this world is yourself, and that is often the hardest thing to do, because we can't really see ourselves. We can look out and we can see what other people are doing, but it's really hard to actually stop and close our eyes and look inside and figure out what is going on in here. Your mind, this thing that's in here that you can't see, but that is so powerful. Your mind can be your best friend, but it can also be your worst enemy. I know when I was trying to learn how to swim as an adult, my instructor would tell me, just put your head under the water and breathe, and you'll be fine. And I could do that. And then he would say, okay, now start to kick. Lift your feet off of the floor of the pool. And I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. And I knew it was because of what was going on in here. So, when conversations with the closest people in my life have gone to the deepest place, it always goes back to the same thing. What's going on in here, and how do we actually get in control of what's going on in our minds? I'm going to show you physically what I've talked about for years and what I've actually envisioned in my head. When you're born, your mind is like a beautiful, clean, empty drawer. It's new, it's fresh, it's empty. And then our first introduction to the world and the people around us get put carefully, gently, quietly into our mind. And as we grow up and we're kids, we learn about playing and being with other people. We start to think about what we want out of life. And we grow up and things just start going into that drawer. And sometimes they go in neatly, but very often they just get put in there like this. And as we grow older, the things that go into our mind are inspirational things like, I know I want to pursue a life in the arts, I need to focus, I'm inspired, I see beautiful things. Other things get put in there that are not so great. And we don't even know sometimes that they're going in there, and they're like really doing this to your mind. Like being gay, or growing up with a dad who's an alcoholic. And that's in there, and in there we continue to put other things, some neatly, some just thrown into all of the corners of your mind. Until we have that drawer that almost everybody has in their home. The drawer of all the random shit that you don't know where to put elsewhere. And then we close it up. And we believe that everything will work itself out. And I can get up and I can walk away from this table, but wherever I go, I still know that there is that drawer full of random stuff. So, what do we do? What do we do if we want to start to clean up our mind? Well, this is the metaphor that I've used over and over again, and this is something that was a real life changer for me, something I did when I was a teenager, and something that I continually do. I open up that drawer, and I take every single thing out. And I put it onto the table. And this is not easy, because some of the things in there were like, how did that get in there? Why is that in there? I don't like that in there. Oh, this old thing. I remember when I was inspired by this. Or, oh yeah, this looks so much better now because I've been working on it. taking every item out of the drawer is crucial because we need to know what's in here before we can start to actually tackle the mess. Oh look, a random unused Band-Aid that is still sticky. Gross, but yes, that's the sort of thing that ends up in your mind. And when everything has been taken out and put onto the table, so this step is kind of crucial because now you can look at it and you can begin the process of tidying up. So before we can figure out what goes back in the drawer, we need to clean up the drawer because there's all this filth and dirt in there, and that's really what it is. In all the corners of this drawer, which I can now see, I can see that there's stuff that just needs to be tidied up. And this is what I see as almost the process of physical exercise or good diet. Eating healthy food and being physically healthy is a step towards having a neat and organized mind. So, we need something to clean up the dirt that's in the drawer. There. Doesn't that feel like a very nice place to start putting things back inside? I do. We can go further. So this step is what I see as meditation, or really having the ability to be alone with yourself, to be able to sit in a room by yourself without any distractions and just be able to think. In order for that to happen, your mind needs to be cleansed out, and it needs to become a place that's almost sacred, where when you do this, you know that you have taken the time to really clean out that drawer and to really see that you got every last bit of dirt that was in there out. And that is not easy. That is something that takes a lot of effort, and you have to want to do it. You have to want to do that for yourself. But once that happens, once the drawer is empty and clean, we can begin to put things back. I want to make this drawer a special place. I want to make this a place that's never going to go back to being a jumbled, horrible mess again. So I do little things like get a nice piece of hand weaving, and let's put that at the bottom of the drawer, and it fits just perfectly in there. Look at how nice that looks. And now, knowing what a mess this drawer was, let's figure out how to prevent that from happening. Maybe I can get some clear little compartments, and even these, before I put them in, I'm just going to wipe them out so everything in there is clean. And these little compartments are going to fit perfectly into the drawer. They're going to help everything stay organized. Perfect. Now we have the big compartment. This is for the main things in life, like your career and your relationship with other people. That's gonna go there. And now I'm gonna start putting back the things that I know have to live in the drawer, like my wallet. Because this was covered in dirt, before I put it back in there, I'm wiping it off. You pick up every item that was in your mental drawer, and you have to look at it. And you have to actually ask yourself, why was this in there? Should it still be in there? How do I feel about this? Does this make me feel upset? Does this make me feel angry? Why? These are conversations that take much more than 5 minutes. They're conversations that take hours or days or weeks or years. And these are the things that you can be doing when you're alone with yourself. You can pull out the things of your mind and you can ask yourself how you feel about them. And when I come to terms with those things, I put them back in the drawer and I know that I've looked at it, I've cleaned it off, and that it's going back neatly into this space. And look at how nicely these things fit into these compartments. Keys. Little toiletries that I use regularly. Pens. And here's another thing. Not everything should go back in the drawer. Some of these pens, maybe they don't work, like this one right here. Test them out. Test them out and see if they work first, and if they don't work, throw them out. Get rid of them. This drawer only has a limited amount of space, and that is the same as your mind. Your mind cannot hold an endless amount of stuff. So curate what goes in there. Only put what you need to put back into the drawer, and only put the things that you want to put back. This is missing its eraser, and I don't really like that it's missing its eraser, so it's not going back in the drawer. This one has its eraser. You can go back. My close-up glasses that were made by the same people that made Abraham Lincoln's glasses in the 1840s. Love these glasses. They're going back in the drawer. So that's what you're doing here. This beautiful old little clip that I use for some of my art studies. That's being kept. Another pair of my glasses. You know what? I don't really use these. And this is the first time in a long time that I've taken them out of this drawer and I'm realizing I like them, but I don't use them, and they're just taking up space. And this is very authentic. I'm really doing this now. I'm not putting them back in the drawer because there's not endless space in here. So these, getting rid of these. There. Now, everything else is junk. Look at this drawer. Doesn't this feel nice? Doesn't this feel great? Doesn't it feel nice to close it back up and to leave and to walk all over New York City knowing that the drawer has been organized? I know what's in the drawer. I like everything that's in the drawer. I'm comfortable with all of the things that are in the drawer. And knowing that when I come home and open up the drawer, it's still neat and it's still organized. That is how you clean up your mind. And you don't stop there, because this is always looming around. And after doing all of this work, what if I were to do this? I don't do that. And I don't want my drawer to be polluted. But you need to figure out for you what this bucket of dirt is. And you need to eliminate this from going in here, because this very easily can end up back in here. And if your drawer stays neat and organized and tidy, then it becomes the place that dirt doesn't go into. But at the end of the day, before you go to bed, the most precious things in your life get taken off and looked at and put into the drawer. And when you go to bed at night, you go to bed at night with truly a peace of mind. So, this is really perhaps one of the most difficult things that you can do to your life, but it's something that I think is vital for a healthy mind, and I encourage you all to at least start.